This is the first video of the channel. Welcome to Beyond the Blocks. Quick intro before we start the video with our guest from today. You'll see who it is. It's a pleasure to have him here. So this is a swimming channel, of course. As you can see by the name, we're going to talk about a lot of things, a lot of mental health, physical stuff, and also like what is the swimming journey in the end for athletes. It's not going to be about the biggest swimmers, the biggest record holder, the biggest record setter. It's going to be about swimmers that give their best in and out of the pool to achieve their goals. It's a mix of course, international swimmers, national swimmers, college swimmers, regional swimmers. It's a mix of everything that makes the swimming community in the end. It's going to be here to help people in their journey, to help improve who you are as an athlete and as a person, more than just, I want to break the idea of all these interviews with like always world champions, and people can really relate to that in the end. So the idea is to like find relatable people that are still in the beginning of their amazing swimming journey, such as our guest today. You'll see he has been improving greatly in the past few years, and I'm hoping for him way more to come. Of course, we're gonna see people that are like just at the beginning. So when you are in a journey, it's step by step, and that's where we're trying to get here. We always see people that are already like most of the time at the top, but we don't really see the in-between, where they come from, how it started. So that's the goal of this channel, to help you improve. We're going to talk about some drills, some sets, some lifting sessions. Hopefully we get some great guests in the next episodes, and I hope you'll like it. Okay, so everyone, here's our guest for today, Max Berg, national swimmer, third nationals last year. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Max Berg. I'm a swimmer at Kentucky. It's my fourth year, so I'm a senior here, but I studied in France, and hope the goal this year is to make the Olympics, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So first question, obviously, like, how did you start swimming? Like, why did you make this decision at some point?
Yeah. So for me, swimming was something that I always like. Also, my parents were very like aquatic, so I was always inside the water. But I was like, when I was younger, I needed like a sport to help me to put my energy somewhere, and swimming was like the best thing I found in terms of like stress and like just like spending energy on a sport. Like
I mean,
that's
it's
what
like, it's
swimming.
really, how do you say it? It takes a lot of energy, like compared to other sports I've kind of tried, because I've done judo at some point. It's like you need to be on it. Like, it's, if you don't, just gonna like mess something, and it's like you use your whole body. So yeah, it's kind of really physical in a way.
Yeah, that's pretty physical. But I mean, like as a swimmer, like I love it, but it's not always easy because, as you say, like it's a sport that requires a lot of practice, usually twice a day plus the weights. There's like 3 or 4 weights every week, so that's pretty hard. But like, if you want to perform, like that's what it takes. So,
Exactly.
mm, you know,
You gotta put in the work, otherwise, like, if you have big goals, you need to put the work to attain that. Otherwise, it's not doable in any way.
yes, for sure. And especially a sport like swimming, like there's like a lot of competitors. I know that in France, like everyone is looking for a spot in the relay on the Olympics, and that's what we want. So like, I mean, we're gonna work for it, and
I mean,
we'll
I
see
think you
how
made a
it goes.
statement last year, not, I mean, this year at national. So I think people are gonna look for you this year. I am
Oh,
not worried about that.
yes, yeah. I mean, we'll see. Like, I hope I'll work for it. Like this year is very like special for me because like I have this goal in mind. Even if I don't know if I can pretend for an individual event, I mean, I still want to be in the relay, and like that helps me to like practice even harder every day because I just have to think about like the others that are like putting the work to like go to the Olympics because like going to the Olympics in your own country is like an honor, as a
Yeah,
as an
that's
athlete.
I had a discussion with a friend last season because I'm not the greatest swimmer on earth, and he's pretty good too, I'll be honest. But we are being realistic. We know that the Olympics might not be the attainable for us, but we think that like we can make like a I don't know, like the French team for like a B or C, I don't know, like another event. And just like the fact of like being able to represent your country is just like having this flag on your cap is just it must be an amazing feeling. I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't know yet, but hopefully one day.
I hope you'll know, man. Like it's of course like it's an amazing feeling, and as you say, like first of all you start with like a team, French team, and then like step by step you can like increase. I think that's what I did because like I did my first like French junior team when I was 16 for the European Junior Championship. And I mean I never thought that I had the I mean I was gonna be able to like pretend to go to the Olympics, you know, but now that I'm here, like I need to try and
I
we'll
mean, you
see.
gotta dream big. I think that's all that matters. You can just give your best, no regrets. You know what I mean? It's like if you don't try, you'll never know what you can do.
Sure, sure,
And
sure.
especially, I mean, I am nowhere near your level, but from what I've seen like in May at nationals, that was you have the capacity to pretend at something, so you have no reason to not try.
Yes, I hope, man. Thank you very much for that. We'll see.
So, I mean, just your background quickly. So you started in Berg. So fun fact, I'm from close to him. So we probably swam a bunch of meets against each other, but I do not remember, and be honest, because I would not know anyone before. I would just be there with my team and just like a sect. So started Book Bel Air, and I just let you explain your
Yeah,
journey quickly.
sure. Yes, we are from the same hometown, you know, like a very small club team. And it's a lot of fun because like it's like just like swimming is just like it's not about competing, it's just about like having fun. And so I spent like my whole childhood there, you know, like until I was 15. And then like I'm sorry, I had
Dude,
an opportunity to go to Montpellier, which was like a bigger place for swimming because you could like practice your sport in high school and like having the athlete status like
yeah,
in high school. So it was pretty interesting. So I decided to leave, and it was maybe the best decision I made because the club was just so much bigger, and I had like a very good feeling with the coach, you know, like we worked together and like he helped me to reach my best level. And I'm also still working with him. Like he helps me every month, you know, like I have
oh,
a
that's
call
good.
with him and like it is I think like my old coaches when I was in my hometown also like are part of my success, you know. But like
Definitely.
this coach like that I have since high school, he's the one that helps me like you know, like putting the work and I'm very grateful for that.
I
And
feel
then
like
like
way too often we always be like, let's say I'm gonna be like Coach Bowman, for example. It's like,
yeah,
oh yeah, Coach Bowman, he's the greatest coach ever, and he is. I will not lie about that. Like he is the two
yeah,
best swimmer in the world. But at the same time, like the coach we had as kids are the ones that like kind of made us who we are as athletes. I feel like I know
yeah,
that my coaches that I had personally, like they really like impacted me a lot in my way of like seeing things working, and I still have this now, and it's really something that like helps you build your whole career. So I feel like if you have a great coach, it really like helps you all the way.
yes, that's true. Like it was very like useful for me to have like a coach that understood me, you know, like because I know a lot of athletes sometimes they can't like reach their level because of the coach. Like sometimes it's really hard to like get along with the coach. But I never had any problem with that with me. Like a coach like was always here for me. So I'm very grateful. Also, like last year, I had this thought in mind after my old coaching staff got. I mean, they just went away, you know. So I wanted to like transfer about that, like because like I thought about transferring because I was scared to like
Yeah,
have new coaches. and I'm working with new coaches, but they fit me really well. Like, I think they're gonna be great.
That's good. I feel like getting along with your coaches and like being able to communicate and understand them is like the one of the key to success, because if you're like don't, it's just gonna it's gonna blow everything away in a way.
Yes, that's
And
true. That's
it's kind of scary as athletes to be like, oh, I'm switching teams. Oh, I have a new coach. Oh, this. Because as Max just said, he thought about transferring, and I did currently this year. And it's kind of a scary thing to be like, I'm going somewhere else. I'm switching teams. I had three coaches in the past 3 years, the same one back home, but two different in the US. And it's really weird because you have to adapt to a whole new way of practicing, basically. And
yes,
it's really about understanding how he works, how the coach works. Some coaches are just gonna like yell during sets, tell you to go faster, move your ass. Others are gonna be like, "You got this. Let's go, keep pushing." It's really a whole different mindset, and sometimes it fits you more or less. But I think in the end, it comes down to us to adapt to how the coaches work, because otherwise, like he's not gonna change his way for one swimmer in the team.
no, yes, you're right. I mean, I worked with like different type of mindset as coach, and like uh luckily I always adapted, but like I have a lot of confidence in any coaches that I had, because like I know their work and I know they want to make me better, and
Yeah,
I'm willing to do everything it takes to be better. So like whatever they decide, like I will do it. I mean, it's like as long as it stay like
yeah.
clean.
But that's one thing I feel like a lot of people I've met or in my journey, they switch teams, they have a new coach, or like this new coach just comes in because the other one left. And they're just being like, oh yeah, this coach doesn't fit me. And they just gets mad and they're just being like, oh yeah, no, no, no. I'm like, it's your coach. Give it a shot. It's the beginning of the year, or like you've been working with them maybe for a month. You don't know that person that much. You will see on the long term how it works. It can be scary because of course you might like kind of you scared of losing your level for the first few months, let's say. But on the long run, it might actually be a good thing. And that's really something that it's important, is like to always give credit and trust someone, I think. And if obviously like after 2 years did not work, you can probably just like start being like, okay, maybe it was not the good move for me. But at the on the moment, always trust that person, I think. And in the end, they're the coach. So like you should give
Sure,
them credit for
sure.
what they're doing. I
But I
think
think as long as you trust yourself, you'll be better, because you
that is
can
also
also
true.
rely on your teammates. Like you don't need to be like that close to the coaches. Like I mean, I feel that the coaches, they're just trying to like make you better, and sometimes the way is not the best, but you always have like the resource around you to like
Yeah,
find
exactly.
something that will make you better. For me, like that was also my biggest change after like coming from high school in France to the college here. It's just that seeing like that swimming here is such like an actual team sport.
Yeah,
It's not like an
definitely.
individual sport in France. Like you're doing something that's like you like people around you matter. Like you're not the only one.
Exactly.
And this is also why, like, I think that a lot of French people or European people that transfer to the US
Yeah,
can like reach their best level. It's because of this type of mentality. So however the coaches is, yeah, you have like so many things, and I think the best is just to trust yourself, because you know if you're gonna be better or not.
definitely. Like that's one of the main thing that I realized when I came here. So I saw back home my coach, he was an Auburn national athlete, and he
Oh,
was he was an ex. He was trying to build something like in the US. We were having like intra squad meets and stuff. And when I was back home, I was like, what is going on? What is this? I was not used to this coming from my small town. And then I came here and I saw this intra squad meet, the captains, everything, and I was like, that's where it comes from. And it's actually something really different, because back home you have captains, but at least for us in X, it did not work because people were like, who is he to like tell me what I'm supposed to do? But
yes,
you
that's
come here and people are like, oh, it's the captain. I need to do this. He's a captain. He's there for a reason. I have to listen to that person. They might not like that person, but he has the title of captain. So it's gonna like he has some kind of power in a way,
Yes,
and
of
it's
course.
really a thing that you're not used to it as you're. I mean, at least as French, I was like, what is going on? And everyone, like, especially the relays, I think is such a great thing here is that we do relays, and you build the team spirit. It's like it just puts you over there. Like you give your best because you're not going for yourself, you're going for the team. And even like when you have dual meets and stuff, and with the points, you want to push yourself because in the end, the result is gonna go for the team, and your team is gonna be better overall. So it's really like such a thing that like elevate everyone in the team, I think.
Of course. I mean, I think that's we are very lucky to be here, like in the US as athletes and as swimmer athletes, is because like we can like experience that. And like sometimes I'm just very sad that like most of my old friends, they are back in France, and like they would never like experience something like that. It's just like so awesome.
Yeah. But that's one thing I feel is kind of nice with the US is that so you're in Division 1, I'm in Division 2. You also have Division 3, NGCAA and NAIA, and they have so much like different championships in the end. I think like kind of everyone can have a shot at what like university sport is, even though it's like financial also because you need to be able to afford that or have a great scholarship. But I think that's one of the great things is that you can actually have the experience, even though you might not be like number 1 in your country or something. And that's not everywhere.
Yes, no, for sure. There is so many opportunity to swim here, like whatever your level is, and that's great. I mean, that's really good because you can, if you want to be better, like you definitely can. It's possible. And
Exactly.
yeah.
So, quick question. What is your best memory swimming wise?
So I mean, so talking about it, I would say it's the relay I had like 2 years ago with my team. So Kentucky team is a good team, but like it's not the great in the best in the country. And SEC is one of the hardest championship like in
Yeah.
the US, because I would say it's like one of the most competitive conference in the country. And so for the first time in something like 10 or 15 years, we won a medal on the 8 free relay. And it was just awesome because like my coaching staff were just like so excited. My whole team was so excited. We just had so much fun, and I mean, we worked so hard for it. We were thinking about it during the whole year. So like at the end, it was something like we didn't even win. We were just third, but it was just such like a good win for us because like we were not used to be that good.
Exactly. I mean, like when you build something and like as an athlete or a coach, you build something and in the end you see that it's like it's succeeding and it works. It doesn't really matter if you're first, second, or third, in my opinion, because you're on that podium, you worked your ass off for it and you made it. Obviously,
Yeah.
if you're first, it's like, oh, it's gold. But being able to like without 10, 15 years of like no medal, and then you just show up, do the apply what you learned the whole year and get that result, it's so impressive. It's like
Thank you.
especially like SEC, like it's with the Gators,
Yeah. And
you
it's
Tennessee, it's like so many big teams in the country that are like you're fighting with like the biggest in the country. And it's actually quite impressive. I'll talk for myself. In Division 2, we have the Sunshine State Conference.
Mhm.
And it's like I think the strongest Division 2 conference because we have Tampa, I mean us, Florida Southern College. You have so many teams that are like here. I think in the top 10, at least 3 or 4 of them are in the SSC.
Oh, okay.
So like
Yeah.
you are being here, you might be like bottom of your conference, but you could still be like in the top 10, which is kind of ironic in the end. And it's really impressive because I'll take Colorado Mesa University, for example. I think they don't have that many great schools over there because it's such like in the middle of nowhere. Like
Yes,
I feel like Florida, at least like the southeast of the US, they have like a really strong conference compared to like other places in the US.
that's true. That's true. Like I would say like the northwest, something like this. Like there's like not as much university. It just like create like a big change in like the competitivity. Like it's really hard to make a final at SEC. For me, like my first year, I didn't even make a final. So I mean, I realized that I needed to make a change because I mean I was just not on the level. So I worked my ass like at practice. I made the change and it worked. Last year I was fourth at SEC, and this year, like if I can get a medal, that'll be great.
I
On
mean,
the
you're in a good position for it. So to be
sorry?
fair, like when you come here, like in the US and especially Division 1, as a freshman, 18 years old, going to SEC is already like pretty, I think, a big thing. And if you can make a final as a freshman, it's quite impressive because you're fighting against people that are like 22, and just like it's a 4 years difference gap, and it's quite impressive. I feel, at least in my
No, you're
experience.
right. But you know, there is always some guy that can make that like that level,
Always.
like win SEC as a freshman. Like it's crazy just to see like sometimes those guys are the best in the world, you know, like I can see some
Yeah.
stuff that I've just never seen before when I see like when I'm like racing this guy from Tennessee, Jordan Crooks, and I can see he's in the water. I mean, it's just unreal to me because like I can't do in the water like that. It's just really
Yeah, I
nice.
don't honestly. I'm like, so I have my old team. I have one guy from the Cayman too, and he would know Jordan Crooks, and we would talk about it, and he was like, you watch the videos, and you're like, how the fuck is that possible?
That's
Like,
crazy.
and my friend had great underwaters, but he was like, I don't know, he's just insane. And I mean, like Jordan Crooks is also built like he's a tank. He's huge,
Yes.
like so
He's
much power, but like just to move this mass underwater, I'm like, there's no way. Especially when he drops a 17 high, I'm like, okay, this is just I don't know how.
Dude, that's crazy. That was crazy to watch. I mean, it like I think that being in the US and seeing these type of things make you realize that like now that you're like around like very fast guy, when you go back to like country, you have like a bigger shot, like
Yeah,
accomplish like higher goals, you know? So that's why like I think like for any athletes that want to like transfer to the US and experience the sport here, they should because that can just give you like a better perspective of what you're capable of doing, you know?
it does. When I left the US, I was I think in the top 10 18 years old French guy on the 50 fly. And I was like, okay, I'm not bad. I'm like, it's pretty
Yeah,
good. And I came to the US and I was like, there's no fucking way. Like so many people, the thing is like you have so many people from like all over the world that it just like brings you back down to earth and you're like, okay, now it's time to like get back to work and actually like put a lot of effort in that because I'm going back home and it's like, oh, interesting. I'm going back home and it's like I'm 50th on the 50 fly, which is not bad, but like it's so much better than in Division 2. And I'm like, it's Division 2, it's not even Division 1. So you're just being like, it's a whole new perspective. And you have to be, okay, so now I need to work harder because I want to make something out of it. And it's quite interesting.
it is. It is. I mean, you know, like I love it too. Like it's really nice.
It's it's a whole experience. I think it really helps you like being like, okay, I'm good back home, but I can be even better. And if I want to be in the best in the US in my championship, I need to be so much higher back home. And it's like you have to like balance everything. And it's really an interesting perspective on that shit, on that thing. Ooh. Okay, so now I want to talk about something a bit more swimming related directly. The physical aspect about swimming. So when we swim, we practice a lot. We have a lot of drills, sets, lifting sessions. And I want to talk with you about one set that you think is really nice, one drill that you think is really nice, and a lifting exercise that you think transcribes really well to swimming.
Okay.
So, what is your best drill for which stroke?
Um, so for me, I mean, my biggest stroke, most important stroke is freestyle. And there's like always something that you're trying to work on, you know, like sometimes you realize like it's something related to your head or like your shoulders or your legs, hips, whatever. And you just have to make the change. And right now, for me, I think the biggest change I'm trying to make is driving shoulders.
Okay.
So for this, there's like a drill that we do at practice. I don't know if you share the same name as us, but it's called the bow drill. you know? It's when you like you have the
Yeah,
elbow like above the surface of the water, and when you have to like make the stop when you're swimming freestyle, and when you're like um trying to catch the water, you're trying to like drive your shoulders the other arm so you can have like a better impulse.
I did
So
not know
that's
that drill, but be honest. But it
on
looks really nice. I'm gonna try this. I practice more often because it seems I need to work on my shoulder drive too. So that seems really good.
yes, it also helps for coordination, and that's something that I'm more trying to work on right now. So for freestyle, I would say like it's the most important one. But you know, like in practice, there is so many like other drills that we do, like trying to
Of
work on
course.
underwaters. And I think this year, like the biggest change for us as a team is like we're working on the mental aspect at practice. We're trying to like think about
Yeah.
racing at practice, and trying to like not fear adversity. And I'm thinking that's I can see like change at practicing because I'm also changing my mental, and like it actually make a difference. So if you want to know a drill that we're doing in for the mental, for example, at the end of a set, like
Okay.
after every round, we like we it's a drill, you know. We just like exhale all the hair we have. We go in the water, and whenever we don't have enough hair and we just like start panicking, we can go above the water. But the deal is we have to train to try to like deal with this feeling of like panic that comes
Yeah.
to you.
You're not in
Because
control of this thing and you have to like
yes, trying to stay on in control as much as you can, so you can like try to apply this during a race. And to be honest, I never done that before, and I can just realize how like powerful that is. Because if you can control your motion during like a race, that make the difference.
definitely.
Like this is when like you can make big
I mean,
stuff.
you practice, you're supposed to race the way you practice, technically speaking, because that's your
Yes,
everything you learn and try to apply at practice is supposed to go in your race. And a lot of people, me first, are not really doing this because we're just being like, oh yeah, now it's time to go fast. I can go fast. And you're just throwing everything that you have, but it's not how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do that during practice so you can be in full control during your race. And
yeah,
this drill, I did not know it, I'm gonna be honest, and it seems really nice. I have it not really, it's not a drill, it's more of a set to be honest. But it's just you stay 15 seconds, you hold your breath, 25 without breathing straight after that, and then you add 15 seconds every time. And so like I usually go like around 2 minutes without breathing straight into 25, and you have this like feeling of not being in control, but you just learn to like relax, and that actually helps. But that's a good thing. I will talk to my coach about that because it seems really nice.
yeah. That's pretty nice. You know, like it's just not very comfortable, but that just helps you to be like more comfortable when it gets uncomfortable. So,
It's
but I mean,
exactly what
your
it is.
stuff also looks very nice. Like I will talk about my coaches, you know, like there is so many different ways that you can like do at practice that will make you better. You can work on so many things, you know. Like people think that swimming is just like watching the floor of the pool and
Yeah.
just like swimming, but you always have like stuff in your mind, like
I think
little
you had it
things.
too. I don't count how many people were just like, what do I do at practice? You just swim. And I'm like, technically speaking, yes, we swim, but it's swim, drills, kick. Like you get out, you do breath control. Like it's swimming as a whole, but by itself, it's like so many individual things that you need to work on. It's not just like, oh yeah, I'm just swimming, cutting the tails on the floor, the towels on the floor. It's not. You cannot do that.
No, that's true. Exactly. Yeah, you're right. That's why it makes the sport very excited, you know, very good because like you can just work on so many things if you want to be good at a stroke. There is
It's a whole body workout. You have to like be able to control everything and kind of master everything if you want to be like really good. And
yeah,
honestly, like during a set, I think in my opinion, swimming is really hard because it's not like you're running or like doing track and field or something. It's like it's you, your head in the water, and it's you and your thoughts. And it's
yeah,
just that for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on I don't know how long you practice. Like it's just you're thinking, and you either think about every details, or you just sometimes you can just go and like start singing something, and it's really
Yeah,
just
no, you're
okay.
right.
But
The
it's
hardest
really
part,
interesting. Like, sorry, you're saying?
no, that's true, but I would say the hardest part exactly is trying to stay focused during practice,
Yeah,
because there's just so many that at one point during the year when you get tired,
yeah.
you just like go on the survival mode because practicing is really hard. Like it takes a lot of you, and yeah, that's really hard to stay focused. You're right.
Especially for us as student athletes, because you going to I'm have practice at 5:30 in the morning, and at
Whoa.
9 you're in class, and you have to be like doing your thing correctly because you cannot if you have a GPA that is too low, you're out of practice or stuff. So you need to keep it all together, and it's like it takes so much. It drains your energy on like a level that I did not had before. It is really challenging, but it's I think kind of what makes it like interesting because not everyone could do it, and it's about like just pushing yourself and giving the best of yourself every day in the end.
Yes, you're right. And I love it, like, because you give the best and it allows you to grow as a person because you realize that you need to manage your time or effort on something that you like care about, And yeah, I really like it.
So, what would be a set that like what is your favorite set to do?
Um, I mean, I don't have any favorite set to do, but I would say that the best set for me or the hardest one where I don't die, because sometimes they're just like so hard and it's
Yeah,
really hard to like not collapse in the middle of the set. But um maybe the favorites the set I like is the one where like I'm in the position when I can like understand that's what I will feel at that point of the race,
yeah.
and I'm trying to like mentally control myself to like do the right things because I know I'm at that stage. And last year with the old coaching staff, we had like a set that was really good for that. It was just 30 50s long course all out on 130. So 130 is like a huge interval, so you have time to rest, but the goal is just trying to like give everything you have on every single 50. And once you reach like the 15, like half of the set, like the pain comes and you have to deal. It's not physically anymore, it's pure mental. You just
Yeah.
have to like deal with what you're feeling.
My
And
personal take on sets like that, like we had the 2050s yesterday, and
oh
it's
my,
like
you had it.
just
How was it?
20, not 30. I cannot do 30, I think. I might just
Freestyle?
die. But I
Freestyle?
would, sorry?
They were like freestyle?
Yeah. No, I did like half fly, half free. And the thing
Okay.
is, like, I would just like split the thing into half. And once I'm at the half, I would split again in half. And I'd be like, okay, you did the half, now you have the half of the half. And so it's just like it's being able to like split the thing. You're not saying this other whole. I'm being like, okay, I have 10. Okay, now I have five. Now I have like another five. Because if you're being like, I have 30 or 20, or I don't know how much you want to do, it's like it seems so much that if you divide this, in my opinion, I don't know maybe you do the same, but you feel like it seems lighter and you're being able to like push more, I think.
For sure, for sure. I agree. Like it's a good way to manage your fun. Because it's very easy to get negative when you realize that you
Yeah.
have to be like all out on like 2050s. It's like a very long distance and it hurts a lot. So like when you can just like isolate every effort, it just makes the way easier. I agree with you on that. That's
I feel
true.
like the other option is also to just be like, okay, one, okay, one
Yeah.
more, and every time you just add one, so you can actually focus on this particular 50 or 75 or 100. I don't know the set, but you can focus on that distance specifically, and you can be like, okay, I need to do that one perfectly, and then you're like, okay, I did that one perfectly, I can do the next one perfectly, and it's
Yeah.
about just decomposing the whole thing so you have a whole practice that is actually not perfect but really good in the end.
Yes, for sure.
I want to talk a bit about the mental aspect of swimming now. So, especially your 100 last year at nationals, that I thought was really fun because I added you, I think, after regionals at X on Instagram, and
Okay.
you qualify for the final on the 1 free. And on your story, you put uh ready to die at the 60 meters or something. You put
Okay.
that, you go all out. I think you flipped first on the 50 or top three something.
Second, yes.
Second. You turned out to flip second. You finished fourth, but there was international swimmer before, I think.
On the fourth,
On the
in
100. I think you finished third French, but was there I think a guy before
I,
you?
I I think for that final they just I don't know, maybe I don't even remember to be honest, but I think the guy that was from another country was in the B final. So I
Oh
think it
wait.
was like
Oh yeah,
only
but
like,
probably.
but in the morning something happened. It's because like I took my race pretty fast, and I died. And I was about to like not do the A final because I had the 9 time. But the one that did the 100 final in the morning was Florent Manodou. And
Oh yeah.
he didn't want to swim the afternoon. So lucky me, I had the last time of the A final, and I did the
That's you cannot
time.
say
I
no
was
to that.
with that. I was very happy about that.
I remember I talked to someone about Manadu because apparently he was aiming for 49 mid something, and he just went with 48 low. I remember 48.2 something. And
48-1,
I
yeah.
was like, this guy aimed for like at least a second higher, and he just dropped like one of the best time, I think, on the season overall. And I was like, this is just insane. But
That's
sometimes that's what I always say: if you have a lane, you have a chance. And a lot of people, I think, don't really like take this because I mean, Maudou said to decide to not do the final. You got in the final as the eighth time. You finished third, and you got into the national team for
that's
Fukuoka. So it doesn't matter where you are. It's just get the shot. Don't know what's gonna happen after.
No, yes, you're right. And like during those kind of races, I mean, it's not like huge, but it's still like pretty big. You realize that um you don't have as much pressure as the ones that are in the middle because they're supposed to be the fastest. And for me, before race, that just like gives me even more motivation because I know that I can be even more confident than them.
Yeah,
And I love being on the sides. I I think I had my base races on the side of the pool. I mean, just because it's easier like to race like on that spot, I feel like.
because I'm
Some
gonna take my
people like it,
personal experience on that one. It was the last year I've been in the US the whole season. I was not qualified for nationals. I go back home. I go to national two, and I have the 50 floor, which is my best race ever. And I'm like, I need to go get that one. Like, there's no option. I swim in the morning. I just messed up completely my whole thing. I'm in the A final, lane 8. And I'm like, okay, I have nothing to lose at this point. I'm like, I'm there. I finished
Yeah.
second. So I got into nationals. And there's this guy that was lane, I think, so lane 4 was another French guy that was in the US too. So we kind of met each other like a few weeks ago, really nice. But this guy, lane 5, who was supposed to be the second fastest, and I think he finished like fourth something. So he still made nationals, but I could see that he was like, because when you're in the middle, everyone is watching you. You are being expected to swim fast. When personally I'm on the side, I'm just being like, oh, I'm here, I'm chilling. No one expects me. I can do my own thing, focus on my race, and that's all that matters. And
Exactly.
sometimes it's a relief for some people, and I know it is for me. But
No, I agree. That's true. I love that spot. And I mean, for the mental aspect before race, I would say that like as long as you're in the final, you have to go to the final with this mindset that you said earlier, like I have a lane, I have a shot to like do something. And I think this is like the best time to like actually like show up like because
yeah,
this so like trying to like maybe build something different. And that's what I did for me. I tried to like make an adjustment from the morning and it worked. And you have to like usually like this is like the best but also like the scariest time. Like you don't really want to be here because like it's you don't know if you're gonna miss your race or if something's gonna happen. You think a lot. And the best way is just like I think just trust yourself and know that you put the work in and just like
if you're there, it's for a reason. You did not just like show up to a meet randomly and be like, "Oh, we're gonna put you in the A final." You earned that spot. So if you're there, it's for a reason, and you can like trust yourself. That's all that matters. A lot of people are being like, and I think I do it a lot, is that you're just being like, oh, what am I doing here? Is that they're all fast. But the thing is, like, the guy next to you is also being like, wait, he's here, so he's fast. And the thing is, like, what I think is funny is that everyone is being like, oh, they're all so much faster than me, and everyone is having the same thoughts, but in the end, it's just being like, you here, you earn your spot, go get him. Doesn't matter who you are.
No, yeah, that's true. Exactly. That's totally right. What's your mindset before race?
Personally, it depends. It has been quite differently in the past few years because I went my first time to nationals last year, and the thing is, like, I knew I was just going there to like have fun because the finals were like it was attainable in the 50 fly, but I messed up my race, so it's like whatever. But I just
Mm,
like to be there, and I'm trying to have fun. There was this interview of Leon Marchand, I think it was like a while ago actually, and he's just being like, "I'm having a final. What is gonna happen if I miss it? My parents are still gonna love me. You still made that final. You might not be first, but your family is still gonna be here for you. Your friends too. You can still be proud of yourself. No one is dead because of that. So just go out there, have fun, and like enjoy the process. Because you might miss that final, you might miss this race, you don't know, but you can always learn something from it, and you can always do better on the next one. And I think that's like a take that a lot of people are being like, oh yeah, I messed up my race or this, and they're always like focusing on the bad thing that happened more. And you really need to like get on the positive side of it. Is that okay? I messed up this. Now I can work on that.
exactly. You're right. That's the type of mindset you have to have.
You cannot be like focusing on being like, oh, I messed up, and not being like, why did I mess up? You need to know what happened. And that's one thing is like just go out there, you work for it, have fun, make it your race. You might finish last, you never know. It's like doesn't matter unless you're like, I mean, of course, it's like your last year of swimming, you want to make the Olympics or something, and you're like, it's your only shot. Obviously, it's not gonna be fun. But if you're young, and that's why I made this channel is for the youngest of us, have fun, go out there, enjoy the process, because in the end, most of the time, your actual swimming career is going to start 18 maybe, but around 20s. So don't focus really on what happened before, put in the work, but don't overthink about you messed up one race. It's not because you messed up one race that you're going to mess up your whole thing. That would be
Yeah,
my take.
that's true for sure. Like it's and especially even harder when like you don't see the result showing up when you're younger because like sometimes you just it takes more time for you to grow like as a male or female, you know,
Yeah.
it's just different. So yeah, the best thing you can do is just like trust yourself, whatever happens, and just trying to keep you need to want to be better, whatever, like even if you have like a bad race, you know, it happens to everyone. Like no one can jump
Yeah.
in the water and always improve their time.
I mean, you can
And
just look at Amado do at World Champs last year. He had the 50. Turns out he missed his race, but it happens. I mean, especially in the 50s, like so short. You need to control everything, but it's things that happen. You cannot always be perfect on your A game. It's like you're always gonna have something that can like interfere, and that's also I think where practice really matters because if you practice in every condition, every mental state, everything, you can be on your A game that day because you're gonna be used to like being not fully in control. There's this story I think about Bowman. He would like hide Phelps' gear sometimes and stuff to like make him scared, so that he would just show up and be like, okay, whatever. I don't have this. I'm missing this. Whatever. I'm used to that shit. And I think that's maybe not take that extreme, but I think it's important to practice in every condition because then you can show up to a meet and be like, oh, I'm feeling sick. Whatever. Just hammer down. You've been in that position at practice. Now it's a race. You can do it. It's shorter. It's just faster. It's maybe easier because you have this anger. You want to do it. I don't know if you're gonna agree with that.
no, yeah, totally, I agree. I would say that like um me like how I see the things is like for me practice is like more important than swim it because like it's you need to be even more competitive during practice than during swim meet because like if you like just used to be in this position when like it's uncomfortable and like yes, as you said, like you've done it. If you swim sick during practice and then like you don't feel that good, you know that you can still do something, you know. You like just trusting yourself and like do the
Yeah.
work. Like it's really hard. Like it's actually really hard because there is so many times when there is like this part of your brain that's telling you to like not do it, you know, and you just have to constantly fight to like trying to push yourself.
I mean, yeah, when we wake up for us, it's like I wake up at 5:40, 4:40, 4:50, sorry, in the morning, and we swim outside, and you have to get out there, and you're like, you don't want to get in, but
I
once you're in, it keeps going. I think the hardest is not even the practice; it's just being like, okay, I'm going, and it's really just like it's about like this. That's one thing I believe is that you need to push yourself just a bit. It's a small push, but once you push, you just starts rolling, and you can just go. I think it's an important thing. People are always being like, and me first in the morning, I don't want to get in the water. I'm gonna be honest. Like when it's what I think it's like 18 in the outside this morning in the morning, and I'm like, it's not that cold, but it's cold enough for you to be like,
no, of course, and I mean at that time, any reasons are good to not go into the
yeah,
water. For me, like I have to bike to practice, and it's not as early as you know, like it's at 6 a.m. in the water, not 5:30. But I mean, I still have to wake up at like 5:15. Yeah, that's actually still better than you. But I mean, 5:15 for me is so early, and like having to like going and bike and then like go inside the water is pretty hard. But like you're totally right. The hardest part is just to make like this little push that would allow you to just get into it. And once you've done it, you've
once
done
you're
what was
in, you're in.
the hardest thing of your day, you know? Everything just gets so much easier and you're just like so much more happy about what you're doing.
Exactly. I don't count like last year how many times I was doing like some mid-D sets, and I'm not a mid-D swimmer. I gained 20 pounds my first year in the US about of muscle and fat, and I'm not a mid-D swimmer anymore. I could be that before, but now I cannot. And I pushed myself, and I don't count how many morning I was like, I don't want to do it, but I would get in the water, and I would actually have a really great set, and I'd be like, well, that was nice. And every morning is just you push yourself a bit more, and in the end, I was actually like, oh, it's midi practice today. Nice, I can go do
Yeah,
that, and it's just that, and you just keep rolling. It's about like being having a positive attitude. Once you have it, I think you can just keep it and have the whole thing going.
of course. Of course, you're right. I love like you can there's like different ways to see practice. Like and in swimming, you have teammates that you see that like maybe they don't enjoy as much, but like you need to find a way to see things differently because it's actually like very nice, you know, like that you have the opportunity to like trying to like improve yourself on something every day.
Yeah,
And uh, yeah, it's really hard to do, but you really need to realize like as a swimmer, like for me, that's what I'm saying to every morning when I wake up and I don't want to go. Like I will get better if I do it, you know.
that's why I talked with some friends the other day. Is that I forgot the word in English actually, but if you do it when you don't want to do it, what's gonna happen if you do it when you want to do it? Is gonna be so much better, and you're gonna be like, I was struggling when I was at my lowest, and I didn't want to go there, but I did it. So now I'm here, and I want to be here. So I'm gonna throw it down and just show everyone what I worked for, and it usually pays off. Unless you're eating like I don't know how many calories a day, and obviously you're not doing what you need to be doing on the side. But if you put the work the whole year, it's gonna pay off at some point. I will always believe in work. That's the one thing that cannot change.
I agree. I agree. That's yeah. Like doing the work will always pay off. Like, and even though like it's not the result that you were looking for, it's still gonna like put you in a spot that was better than you were before. So
Exactly.
always, always
Always
make
something you can get from it. I think
yeah, that's true. And of course,
there is. I don't know, like for me. I miss a race. I will get out, go see my coach, and be like, yeah. I messed up this, this, and this. I need to work on this, this, and this. Now I know it. I'm not just being like, I messed up. And that's a take that I think a lot of people might need to have. Also, like record videos and stuff of the race so you can see what you need to work on. Because you might not have the greatest race of your life. It might be better, it might be less good. But for example, last year at Summer Nationals, I had really bad races. It was the wrong time for me. But my coach recorded my videos and he was like, you swam slower than where you were supposed to go, but your strokes was better. And so you know that you worked on something and it's working, but it's a work in progress. So in the end, it will pay off. But at this exact moment, obviously, it was not awesome, and it's what it is.
It's really hard. The hardest part also is that you want to see the result instantly, but like usually it can take like years, you know, or just like months. You sometimes it's just something that you switch and then like it comes like that, but like most of the time you have to like do it at practice and make the change every day. That's
It's
that's
about taking time, not being in a hurry. If you're in a hurry, it will not work. But if you take time and you apply things correctly, it's gonna pay off for sure.
yeah. Yes. The funny thing is it's actually not a race, like it's more like a I mean it's like
Marathon,
yeah, like it's a marathon. Like you need to be like um as long as you keep improving, you'll get at the point where you want to be. It doesn't matter if it like takes like a year or like five, like as long as you're like willing to improve, you will.
exactly. I have a final question for you. If you had one advice you wanted to give to a young swimmer, what would it be?
Um so if I want advice, I would say um just like embrace the competitivity you have at practice with your teammates and try to have fun as you said before. Like it's really nice to like have a sport where you can like put some effort and just seeing that like it like make you grow like as a person. And even if it's hard, you got to remember that it's just a part of the game. It's not always easy, and just be aware of it so you can like realize and deal the best way you can with it, you know. And of course, as long as you're having fun and you're like enjoying what you're doing, because I think we all know if we like truly like what we're doing or not, you know. And just like as a swimmer, like also like being grateful of what you have and just like trying to stay in a positive attitude as we talked about earlier.
Yeah. I think it was a good episode. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy about the everything we talked about. Thank you for being here. I'm happy that I got you. To be honest, like it's such a great thing. I'm happy. I'm hoping that we'll get a lot more of swimmers like you to come because it's such a great thing to talk about the sport that is ours. And I appreciate that. It's really nice.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, I was so happy to like share like my thought with another swimmer, like with someone that is doing like the same thing as me, because we're like we have the same like lifestyle, I would say, and that's
I
really
know.
nice. And I'm happy. Like I hope you're gonna have like success in your career, man. And I'm excited for what's happening, for
I
what's
mean, I
coming.
wish you that to you too, but it's already going on. So I'm like,
Thank you very much. And yeah, I was very happy. This episode was great.
have a good day, sir.